Hello and welcome back. I hope you're taking very good care of yourself, or if you're taking care of a widow, that you're allowing her to work through her emotions. Today, we are on lesson 4, giving yourself permission to laugh and have fun. This is important because a lot of people will actually feel guilty for smiling, having fun, going out and being with friends and family. It's difficult to sometimes allow yourself to have that happiness. And hopefully for you, it's very easy, and it can be, but it's very important that you actually do that. I mean, science shows that you release endorphins when you're laughing and smiling. Without those endorphins, you could probably go down a path of more and more depression rather than getting out of it. So let's work on things that do release those endorphins. In fact, one of the things that I started doing was while I was in the shower in the morning, I would make myself do a smile, a great big smile. I mean, where the crinkles in your eyes happen, and you hold that for 60 seconds. And if you need to, tell yourself a good joke or something fun. But that also, just by having your face go into that smile, it releases those endorphins as well. So that's a fairly easy thing to do. But it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry because they've looked at the tears that we produce, say when we're cutting an onion and we have tears come out, and the quantity of, or the quality of the tear itself is different than when we are crying from sadness. There's an actual element in there that actually releases the emotions. You know how sometimes after a really good cry, you feel better? And that's why. It's the chemicals inside those tears. Now let's talk about the difference between having family and friends. Now, this isn't for everybody, but for the most part, family who's been around with you and your husband, it's easier to talk to them about that loved one. They know them intimately. And it's easier to talk about death with a family member. And in fact, for me, when Rick died, my mom actually came and stayed with me for some time afterwards. And I just really needed her to be there. She actually slept in the same bed with me because Rick and I had such a good time going to bed at night, laughing and giggling and sharing about the day before. And we would wake up laughing and telling jokes. And I really missed him during those times. And to have my mom there was really important to me. And if you have someone you trust to help you get through the really hard times, which might be those first weeks after death, and it could be actually 6 months or so after that, when lots of people aren't showing up anymore. I realized during that time that my mom was staying with me, that I did have a weakness, that I really didn't want to be on the planet without Rick. I did not want to be here. And I knew that, and we had guns in the house. And I did say to Mom, please hide and remove the guns. In fact, I wonder where those guns are now. Anyway, know your limitations and ask for help. Keep yourself safe. With friends, they tend to be more uncomfortable in talking about the deceased unless they knew them very well. And they tend to be afraid to make you cry. Well, maybe some friends make you cry, but they tend to be that way. So just be aware of who is not bringing something up because they were afraid to have you elicit an emotion. And sometimes having those emotions, whether you're crying or smiling or laughing, they need to happen. So one of the things that happened to me is I had asked a friend to come over. It was about 2:00 in the morning. And I had said to him, I'm thinking suicidal thoughts. I'm very sad. I wasn't going to commit suicide on that night, but I needed some help. And he did come over. And I cried and expressed myself. He cried and supported me. And one of the things that he said to me, which is to this day changed me, and you can use it too. What he said to me was, Christy, you're not going to commit suicide. You're not going to check out. You need to stay here because you are going to make a difference for somebody else. You will save somebody from themselves as well. He says, I know this is a true story because I'm someone who almost did. And somebody told me not to check out. And he did save me. He did make a difference for me. And someday, some way, you will probably make a huge difference for somebody in your life. So I do look forward to seeing you next time